Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Age of Wonders Planetfall, where today we are going to have no technical issues. I can't promise that, but I'm hopeful. That's an aspirational thing there. I'm really hoping no technical issues. Okay, what are we doing? We're claiming stuff. What was I doing with this army? What on earth was I doing with this army? Did we... Okay, we're already annexing that. I honestly cannot remember what these guys were doing. Hold on. What other notifications do we have here? Apparently we've had a happiness event. Due to the happiness of your population, there's a boost in food income. Wow, double food output for a turn. That actually seems pretty great. So have we got our happiness stuff mostly under control? Here in the capital, we're still a little bit negative, it looks like. It's probably like -4. Well, shoot. How are we going to solve that? Well, the capital's building something already. Let's let this finish, and then we'll figure that out later. Alright, so we got people coming home. Mostly what we're waiting on in order to move forward here is our diplomatic relationship, right? We actually can't, if I'm remembering correctly, cannot propose a move up to Allied for a couple of turns. Okay, so we don't really need to do anything, it kind of seems like. Just wait a couple of turns. Who knows what we'll be asked to do after this, though. I guess you can keep moving. I was probably walking you in this direction for a reason. We can go fight some neutrals or something. You know, in general, like, experience points are good. It's good to have experience. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was annexing a thing, but I couldn't actually annex it yet. Right. Well, why don't we come over here and do that, then, since we now have the territory that it is connected to. We can merge these two up. Alright, well, we're taking over a significant amount of territory. And these marauder dudes seem like they'll be pretty easy to kill. Yeah, we could definitely auto-combat that. We found a lone Paragon unit is found slumped and weakened next to the stash. He tells you the Union left him to rot, and that he would gladly join you if you give him the implants he believes are inside the stash. Yeah, I'm okay with that. He's a guard. It's a tier 2 skirmisher unit. Sure. I don't think I really need the 99 production, to be perfectly honest with you. Operation Effectiveness 1. We did it. Our operations are effective sometimes. We've researched how to make our operations effective. I guess, if Operation Effectiveness 1 was your jam, let me tell you, you are going to love Operation Effectiveness 2. It's like the other one, but twice that. Alright, we're gaining skill points on our new hero, who, my guess is that we're pretty close to the end of this, so I'm not going to stress too much about these choices. Like, Ranged Specialist and Deadeye both seem fine. I think we're probably pretty close to the end of this mission. Do we want to fold this new dude into this army? We probably could do that. Let's pull one of the Psyfish. Well, that's not the button you press to do that. There we go. Let's make ourselves a nice blended force here. This'll make Nicole Crustus trust us, right? Look, there's even a human in my army. Nicole Crustus trust us. That's... Alright, so we don't want to take over this area. We might not even be able to take over another thing. Mycorrix might be at its region cap right now. Is there an easy way to tell that in here? No, it doesn't seem to have a... super easy way of doing that. We can of course walk over the claim point for a region, and it'll tell us how many more population is needed before we could claim that. But I'm not going to stress about it too much. I think we're okay. What about over here? Are we close to being able to pull something new into? There we go. Needs one more colonist before it can add this sector. So probably next turn. Yeah, it looks like next turn. We're actually like totally killing it on population. I guess that makes sense. We've put a lot of effort into growing our food. Okay, a nice, safe battle. That's the game explicitly giving me permission to press the auto-resolve button. We found food. Even more food. That's great. You know what we were really short on was food. Okay, and we're outside of Nicole's territory, which hopefully... Again, I'm not actually sure if the... Oh, hey, that food pushed us over the population limit. Well, yeah, okay, go ahead and annex then. Yeah, like I was saying last video, I'm not sure if the timer for us for the open borders thing that we did with her is actually running anymore. Now that our diplomatic relationship is better, it may be the case that we're just allowed to walk around in her territory. You guys probably shouldn't hang out in her territory for too long, just in case. I guess just back up. That's fine. Alright, what do we actually need here? I suppose nothing wrong with a brood cluster. We're actually not producing that much food. This brood cluster would be very weak here. Could we do some... We do have some options with the Commodities Shipping Center. Build a military engineering guild, a civil engineering guild. Colony gains +6 production for each structure in the colony center, and a big reduction in the cost of colony centers. Yeah, sure. This is an already level 5 district, which certainly saved us some time. And hey, the Economist is active. I totally forgot. We were going to watch a value and see if it increased when we did that, and I don't remember what the value was. Where is ours? Okay, the central replicator. Okay, this still says provides +15. It's possible that this was affected by the doctrine and is just not showing on the tooltip, or... I don't know. I'm not going to stress about it too much. Like I said, I think we're pretty close here to ending this one. Unless it turns out that we ally with Nicole and then we have to kill the other guys. The hostile Kirko who are not happy with us. Oh, also, our colonies are unhappy with us. Growing populations generate unhappiness. Unhappiness is remedied by building certain structures or by assigning colonists to happiness slots, both of which we've done, and it's just not enough. All of this population comes at a cost. Okay, we did not bother to destroy the pirate hideout. We have received a proposal from the Amazons. They would love open borders. I'm okay with that. These guys would like us to destroy a different pirate hideout? Sure, I'll do it. We have an unexploited sector. Can you imagine the audacity? Sure, let's go and... What do we actually want? We don't really need energy exploitation. I guess more industry is good. Hold on, we should probably actually go look at the sector, right? What's up with the Silkworm Woods? Okay, mostly it would like to be a food thing. Obviously, it's not going to be. I guess we'll go... research? Or industrial. It does have a small bonus to industrial. We were put in a very food-heavy region. Over here, we actually could use more agriculture. Ops ready to prime, you know, a bunch, several. We do have another doctrine slot, so we could run something. We could access the Forbidden Library. We could do some tactical integration here. Reduces the cost of tactical operations by 30%. Man, I just don't care about the energy costs of pretty much anything. Gain 100 opinion with other players. This sounds like the thing we need. We want to make sure that Nicole is 100% down with the Alliance. So yeah, let's prime this. That seems like a useful doctrine. And I suppose we could prime some of this as well. We could actually run our spawn emergent thing, but I don't think we need to. Yeah, it sure doesn't feel like we need to. Okay. Why don't we go and fight these guys? We got some marauders over here that we could handle. That would give us something to do. A lot of my military units don't feel particularly useful at the moment. Some kind of hostile something over here. I don't know, man. Just hang out near the other army. I don't want you out by yourself. You guys can go and fight even more dudes. I do appreciate them throwing a thing up on the screen when it is safe to, when you know it will be safe to auto-resolve. Okay, so we got to deal with the unhappiness, but we don't really have a lot of ways of doing that. Nicole closed borders with us. Okay, I believe that is the end of the timer on that deal we negotiated. So having a defensive pact does not necessarily open your borders to each other. That's fine. Is it this turn that we can propose? It is. Let's see. Okay, she's willing to go for it. We don't even have the 100 bonus opinion from that doctrine in yet. She just thinks that's a real good idea. Okay, well, now we have lots of allies. You've shown great wisdom today, my friend. Letting go of your anger and hatred requires a lot of trust, and trust is as fragile and in need of care as a hatchling larva in a rough winter night. Come to the Celestian Archives. It is time to revisit the third dream of Xaratosh. Alright, you are invited into the Dreamer's Archive to join Hatul Uruk. This is a defining moment for your swarm and for all Kirko, so we just gotta run over there. That seems extremely doable. You guys are the ones who are going to be doing the running. Get to the other side of this river. So what are we gonna have to... Are we gonna have to cross hostile territory to get there? The Forest of the Spiders is mine. These areas are... Yeah, these areas out here are neutral. Okay. We don't have to worry about borders or anything for a little while. Boy, this arrangement of roads does not seem super efficient. I guess we're not worried about wasting concrete. We are ready to spawn emergence. We have ops ready to launch. I know we do. I'm not too worried about it. You know what we could do? Where are we at relative to that quest node that I just saw? The Dreamer's Archive. Wait, for real, where was that? Oh, it's over here. Okay. So... dropping a satellite dish for vision is probably not going to be super helpful because we're really talking about a pretty grand distance here. Whose territory is this? This is Hatul Uruk. We should probably push our diplomatic relationship with him up as well. Shouldn't be difficult to do. Especially for quest reasons, he should be very eager to welcome this. Okay, so in 3 turns we can try to be friendly with him as well. Or we can try to be allied with him as well. Relationship with Vanguard changed to accepted. So... Vanguard colonies, +2 happiness. Vanguard players' opinion, +50%. Okay, so if there were multiple forces in the game that were of the Vanguard type, multiple factions, I mean, making friends with one of them makes the others like you a little bit more. Okay. We are also accepted by the Kirko. Well, okay, we certainly should be. Well, Krustis has become the unifier, because she is allied with, I think, the Amazons? Is that what we saw? Can I do that? Can I ally with the Amazons? I also would like to be a pioneer, and I think if we get this done this turn, it'll work. No, she is not down. Well, let's compliment her, because we have plenty of this stuff sitting around. Does it take time for the opinion boost from the compliment to take effect? Okay, well, it certainly didn't have an immediate effect. It's possible that the opinion boost from the compliment does happen immediately, but that it simply was not sufficient to push us up to alliance with her. So do I want to drop the monitor? We totally could. Actually, can we maybe reorder these? Give me this. Maybe we can make an alliance with the Amazons next turn. It's not directly relevant to what we're doing here. I'm getting distracted. We created a sector base. Yep, we did a couple of those. Right now, we don't have any options for dealing with the unhappiness here. We'll look for some social research that might help us out as soon as we're done with whatever it is I'm researching now. Okay, gained 100 opinion with other players. Let's see if she would be down to ally now. Seems like having friends is good. Nope. Really not interested. Does not align with my plans is a little bit of a worrying thing for her to say. Oh yeah, Nicole Crestus isn't allied with the Amazons. She's allied with Hatul Uruk, right? That would make sense. Yeah. Okay, well, whatever. We don't have any explicitly hostile forces just yet. We probably should keep these armies around for dealing with the other Kirko player, because he might do a thing. I can totally see that happening. So these are friendly Psyfish. Huh, why was I getting a big red glowy effect over them? You think that I would... Are they trying to signal that they're in danger? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Listen, we've grasped the basics of the game. I feel fairly confident saying that. There's still a lot of like the process of the UI becoming intuitive to get through. Okay, we got a long walk ahead. You guys should probably just get running. Yeah, this is my forward base. We're allowed to be in this territory. Alright, I'm right that there's nothing we can build here that's going to make us happier, right? Yeah, we could just do some upgrades. I don't know that we really need more food sector upgrades. Why don't we upgrade our production sector? Let's get ready to build a happiness thing once we have researched a happiness thing. But these little scenarios, these campaign situations, do change the way you think about your resources and stuff. Because the game could end at any moment. You know, in a proper like basic 4X game, we would always be building towards something. So we'd have kind of a long-term plan that we need to follow. Right now, I don't know if any bit of effort we do could potentially be wasted because we could hit the final objective of the scenario at any time. Let's see. We could get some more offensive mods. We could get some more strategic operations. I do like I would like some more tactical operations, I think. The one we have that just does damage to people is fine, but this is pretty cool. An offensive mod that allows the unit to heal itself while doing damage to the enemy. Sure, let's pick up Accursed Gifts. And I sort of don't know what else to do, like... Okay, hold on. Where is the other Kirko player, the aggressive one? Okay, we are officially at war. Where is... I don't suppose we're going to be able to negotiate a truce? Gee, what a surprise. Is there not just like a button here that's like zoom me to where you are in the world? I guess I don't actually know 100% if we've seen one of his settlements. He's like down here somewhere, is my impression. But I don't really know. Which means it's hard for me to position my armies for defense. I guess let's just hang out like over here. Sort of a zone defense. We can hit whatever border he approaches. And you can just scout, because it's fun to scout. Ooh, we can use floating to travel over water. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's Rex and the Alara. And we had a defensive pact, right? So when he declared war on us, he declared war on the Amazons as well. And maybe he's busy because of that. So having a hard time getting to us because he has other problems. Do we have open borders with this dude? We don't currently. It looked like I was allowed to move my units into his borders. I'm assuming he'll be mad. Yeah, okay. So not having open borders doesn't actually prevent you from moving in. It just will make people mad. How about this? If we balance the trade offer. No, sorry. I need open borders from you. What am I doing? I need open borders on this side. Send proposal? Okay, cool. It would be not great for us if he got angry with us. So this territory down here is Vanguard territory. Yeah, we should be pretty safe coming through here. Alright, and in the capital, a diplomatic analysis wing, I guess is a thing worth building. We could do a production sector upgrade here. We have a lot of production, but can you ever have enough? Is that a real thing? Probably not. We have a single food on here. I'm a little leery of taking a food upgrade for fear of causing overpopulation again, though. We don't really need a starship maintenance bay because we're not producing any mechanical units. And just even more food is not really what we're looking for, but I don't feel like we have any reason to build additional guards or like additional military units, you know? I guess give me that and then just some more military tech. Throw all this stuff in the build queue. We don't know necessarily that we need to have more military units, but we should be ready to build good military units if we do in fact come under attack. Roxany has captured Lansdal. Because of your claims on this sector, you have gained a Casus Belli worth 5 Casus Belli points, maybe? On Raxony, allowing you to declare war on them with popular support. I have no interest in doing that. Lansdal was not my territory. Am I receiving this? I'm receiving this just because it borders me? I don't care about this. Frankly, if she wants to be a buffer between me and the rest of the world, I'm like 100% down with that. If anything, she's doing me a favor. Ooh, check this guy out. Ariki Cthul wants to join you. Yeah, man, welcome aboard. I certainly don't need that energy for anything else. So that's a pretty wild thing that he's riding there. What is that? An Abyssian. Has 18 damage corrosive bile, 14 damage wax cement. Okay, that's cool. Welcome aboard. So you have ranged attacks. I'm not sure. Heightened vision should be effective on him then, right? Yeah, it just says accuracy. It doesn't say like it only applies to weapons. And then, what else? Accelerated healing is good. Looks like you kind of do a lot of damage. You might get some good value out of Mark of the Sun. And then, sure, like accelerated healing is just generally good. Get all loaded up. He also spawned in with skill points. All heavy units in the hero's army. This hero learns to move rapidly to confuse enemies, which gives them skitter, making them harder to hit if they have moved. That's interesting, but it seems like he's maybe going to be fighting at range a lot. What's the range on these attacks? 5 and 3. Okay, so he's ranged, but he's a pretty close range. That might mean that we do want something like this. Yeah, sure, let's take it. Weapons are more accurate when fired from cover. It sounds like maybe not the sort of thing that he's going to be doing. And then just like damage. Damage is good. See, this here does say ranged weapons. And this is a vehicle, not a weapon. So I wonder if that applies. I mean, I guess we can hit confirm here and see if the 18 and the 14 increment. And then we don't know what kind of units he's going to have around. We might actually want him to have more health if he's got to be up close firing at people. Or we could just take more points of ranged specialist. I guess we don't know if those are actually going to be useful. Yeah, let's take a little vitality. Hit confirm here. It is not reflecting a damage increase in the tooltip, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're not getting one. Oh, these would have been the values to watch. These values are updated with bonuses. Well, let's do it again then. Yeah, okay, it is totally increasing the values. And it shows you the value increases as a preview while you're working with the skills before you commit them, which is just wonderful. That's exactly the way I want that to work. Okay, I think we'll just send this guy over toward the quest thing. Unfortunately, you would imagine he'd be fast given his pet here, but it looks like he has the same 32 land move as our hero, or our other hero, our force commander, I should say. I guess you could just stay put. It looks like you're probably not going to actually be needed. Seems like the Amazons have this under control. So we get a notification whenever there's just an army. We don't get any sense of what type of army it is. Okay, so we're still pretty far north. I mean, we have no reason to do anything other than go around. Do we have... Due to the alliance, do we have guaranteed open borders, or do we still have to... It looks like we maybe still have to get open borders. Balanced trade offer. What would you like in... Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Cool. That being the case, we can just use the roads that she's built through her territory to keep moving a little faster. City of Linden. Colony militia has joined this battle, meaning the defender has extra units involved. When engaging in a combat on a colony center, what battle? There's no... For a second there, she panicked me and made me think that I had initiated battle against Linden, but it looks like that tooltip was just an error. Fair enough. Oh, wait, there's a void storm in this sector. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool looking. So what is that? This sector is dimensionally unstable. Annexing this sector, wow, penalizes the colony considerably. Units in this sector lose their strategic map regeneration. Every combat turn, non-void tech units have a chance to receive dimensional instability. Non-void tech units. Are you guys void tech units? How do I know that? Where would that be written? These guys are biological. Is void tech? Where's my book of terms? Help me out here. What the hell is void tech? Is that the same kind of thing as biological? It is considered a void tech unit. Is protected. Okay, so void tech is not a type of unit. It's just a tag that a unit can have. Okay. So none of my units are void tech. They could all become dimensionally unstable if we stay here. Unfortunately, we don't have the right kind of movement on some of them. Actually, this guy's just totally out of movement. Well, then I guess we're going to stay here and potentially become unstable. We're ready to pop a bunch of stuff. Raxony is publicly complimenting us, which is interesting. Does that mean she's feeling a little bit more amenable to the concept of an alliance? I wonder if the publicly complimenting me is more about making my friends like her better than it is about making me like her better. You sent me a message that just says, hey, I hope things keep going exactly the way they're going. Cool. I also hope that. She has neat-looking units. So we're not that far away now. It looks like we're going to go south around this little body of water here. It's probably just a lake. We are not going to attempt to do anything crazy. Oh, no, cancel, sorry. I didn't realize that that had a thing in it. It looked empty on the world map. Or, it looked empty on our approach. No, I absolutely do not want to attack the person who is... the person who I'm supposed to be allied with for mission purposes, and also whose territory I am, like, really deep inside of. Alright, we finished Operation Effectiveness. Can we find a little bit of happiness in here somewhere? Let's see. What looks like it would be about happiness? Probably exploitation techniques, not so much. Environmental, here we go. This is what we want. Botanical gardens. Give me that. That's what we need to build. Yeah, with only 32 normal land movement, he is not actually likely to catch up, unfortunately. But I guess if we are repelled immediately, we can come back and get him. No, I'm just gonna put these guys on guard mode over here. They don't really have a lot of role anymore. We're not going to be able to approach this from the other sides. This guy kind of doesn't have a lot of role anymore either. He's just sort of like on auto explore, except that there's not actually an option for that. So all of this is Amazon territory, which is friendly to us. I guess we could just look around because it's fun to look around, like the map looks cool. Here in the capital, yeah, sure. Give me more influence. Why not? We're certainly not using it for anything, but still, let me have it. We're 4 turns away from having the ability to build the happiness building, so I guess in that time we can just build some more military infrastructure. Why not? We are at least starting to get a little closer to the objective. Seems like there's a lot of stuff going on out in the world, a lot of stuff that we can hopefully safely ignore. I'm really not paying a huge amount of attention to it all. So yeah, we're going to have to... Oh, you know what? This is maybe a land bridge through. Maybe we could just go straight west. Scyfish would love some energy? Sure. I'm cool with that. They would love it if we would produce for them some chrysalis pods. This plane is foreign. Yeah, sure. I can make your stay here a little bit more comfortable. Let's maybe make that the most important thing in our queue. I got a little nervous seeing all the little red, the red glowing things, but then I remembered, oh, those are probably just allied armies, because that's what red and glowing means. These guys are friends. Yeah, I do really like the way the maps look. Got a kind of an interesting color palette a little bit. Do we want to try... Yeah, let's go ahead and try moving over through here. We'll explore this way with the smaller army first on the next turn, just to make sure that it actually is a path before moving the main army that way. And then I guess you guys could help with the chrysalis pods. Get that done in a single turn. I might be underestimating the length of these. Yeah, we did it. Get ourselves a chrysalis and some... Yeah, I'm cool with that. I might be underestimating the length of these missions. It's possible that that I should be preparing for the long haul here. But I assumed, based on the fact that this is the first mission in our little plot, that it would be relatively minor. Maybe that's not a safe assumption. And that right there is exactly why we looked before trying to move the main army any further west. Okay, I'm hoping this is not going to turn out to be like a real pain to get around. Oh, wait, is this is Hatul Uruk? Okay, so we found his western border. Got a lot of territory. Okay, what do we do with this chrysalis? I guess we just... Like, I really don't have a use for it. Can come over here and help. Help play defense. Doesn't really even seem necessary, but I certainly don't have a... Like, it's not going to be able to catch up with any of the other armies in time to do anything. Then we could go ahead and upgrade food here, since we're about to get another happiness structure. Shouldn't be a big problem to get some growth going. Also, we've had a happiness event. So you don't have a lot of control over what the happiness events do. They don't present you with like a choice or anything. What is this? Pirate hideout destroyed. Oh hey, I didn't destroy a pirate hideout, but apparently it's enough for anybody to have done it. And we gained ourselves an ego rifle. This does not seem phenomenally different than the guns that we already have. It's fine. We finished environmental conditioning. To be perfectly honest, at this point, another happiness building is certainly something that I'd love to find. So additional food per citizen in certain... Okay, when we get to this tier, we get all these buildings that give additional resources per citizen working on the resources that are region-specific or type-specific. Forest, energy from mountains, food from plains. Yeah, okay. So it's just further specializing the land types. That's fine. Colonist care might be the thing we're looking for here. Plus influence, even more happiness. So yeah, we just have to pick up any type. Well, I guess fertile plains exploitation makes the most sense given what our annexations currently are. Just get over here and hang out adjacent to him. Apply mods. Oh, I have not used enough tactical operations in combat to get this and be the pioneer of it. A random hero item. That seems like it could actually be a pretty good reward. Okay, we'll remember to use a tactical operation in the next combat so that we at least get the basic version of the reward here. Popular support was changed to neutral. No effects and no penalties. So our popular... How do we affect popular support? It is influenced by wars you enter and how justified they are perceived to be. So, it is specifically, it is support for our military agenda. Okay. I follow that. I guess let's head this way. These two armies can merge up at least. And a lot of what I'm doing over here is just trying to, like, approach very slowly. Oh no, it's another one of those things. Another void storm. Trying to very slowly approach the quest from a different angle, just that if it turns out that I can't get there from here, we have some kind of idea of how to redirect our troops. It looks like we might have a hard shore. This has got to be terrain, right? With the border. We can probably make it around. Alright, definitely time for happiness structures. Botanical gardens for everyone. And then brood clusters for everyone. Maybe actually in the other order here. Make it a little bit more efficient to build the brood cluster. And then over here, we definitely want to run the botanical gardens ahead of whatever military infrastructure nonsense I was building. Because it turns out we're kind of desperate. Oh wait, we only have one of our doctrine slots full. Oh no, sorry, we have one empty. What am I talking about? Okay, well let's get something in there. We have an awful lot of doctrines available. We're a little short on power for some of them. We're actually... Okay, we're running enough units now that we don't have a ton of power income. Well, we can certainly expand some power buildings out. So... Reducing the energy cost of tactical operations now when we're having a little bit of energy trouble is, I guess, fine? I don't know. We'll leave the extra doctrine slot empty for the moment, I guess. We have to start paying attention to our power generation again. Or, I guess, for the first time, really. Because we never were before. We just always had a ton of it. And I could probably be putting more effort in making sure that my units are upgraded appropriately. Unfortunately, the big problem with this diverse force here is that I have to upgrade each unit individually, which is like a little... It's not like a problem, it's just a little bit tedious. Whereas if that army was made up of 6 copies of the same guy, it would be like a 2-click process. Alright, I guess let's have a quick look at everybody. We are headed in the general direction of enemies, so we should probably be sure here. We could switch over to this Ego Rifle. Yeah, it's functionally very similar to a Soul Splitter, but the Soul Splitter does 7 damage at 7 range, while this does 9 damage at 7 range. It's still psionic, it still has a chance to do the Broken Mind thing. I think this is just better. And then the Imperial Rifle would give us 11 damage at 7 range, but it doesn't bypass armor, so it's not necessarily even the case that it's better. I'm going to stick with the psionic damage, but we'll hop over to this thing. And then I think I'm actually pretty happy with the rest of your gear. Yeah, that's fine. And 2 skill points was not enough to take anything that I actually care about. Yeah, he ends up not being adjacent to our units all that often. What about other guys? So your thing is a ranged attack. In theory, heightened vision and accelerated healing. Do we want to put Consuming Gaze on everybody? It's very expensive. It's also super cool and powerful, and it gives a 20% damage bonus. Yeah, that's not cheap. We're not going to be able to do a lot of upgrades like that. The Mind Breaker. Okay, you're all upgraded, and I'm happy with your upgrades. Wait, what is this? Whatever it is, it doesn't have a tooltip. Oh, that's its type. This marks it as the Durable Ravenous, right? Maybe? I don't know. Let's put some mods on these Psyfish and see if we get a similar thing. Okay, yeah, these ones are power hungry, and you get to pick your icon in case you want to run multiple types of the same unit. They're identifiable at a glance. That's a nice feature. Do we want to put anything else on these guys? No, we don't actually have any other options that will fit on them. A lot of our stuff is about improving ranged units or psionic units. I guess maybe we should pursue more melee mods. Alright, we finished researching Accursed Gifts, immediately made use of our Consuming Gaze. Let's talk about melee mods. Could we find another good melee mod? Sure, like Tunneling Claws. That seems just fine. This mod would only be applicable to our Kirko Frenzied unit of the units we have, or just in general, like even if we got more melee units. Seems like... yeah, okay. That the blue text at the bottom is not like, of the stuff you have now, it's limited to this. It's a hard limit, so this is only a Frenzied upgrade. But we could use a Frenzied upgrade. Frankly, we could probably use more Frenzied. Our unit composition has gotten a little weird. Alright, well, we're certainly moving in the right direction. I wonder, is this a thing where we're going to need ships, maybe? Oh, we found an ancient temple complex. The air around it seems to be humming with psionic energy, like a soothing presence calming our minds. That must be one of the mythical Celestian archives. It is said that inside those archives, the clear-minded can find any answers and knowledge he might desire. Yet only very few are allowed to enter these sanctuaries of wisdom, even within the Celestian Order. Okay, and a sinister voice is trying to sith us over here. Reach out, claim the archives, sure. Those whispers, should I dare to follow their calling? The harmony beyond never betrays. Yet intruding into the archives would be no easy task, and a violent one. There would be no turning back. Okay, so we have been offered... maybe you want to go and claim those by force. That's not really how I feel. Entering the archives by force will have a price. We're going to do this as peacefully as possible. Tick denounced Nicole. Well, Tick is going to get himself into some real trouble, I think. Hasn't actually bothered us at all. Unhappiness in your colony has led to unrest among the population. 20% of the colonists have become rioters. Rioters cannot be moved from their slot and no longer produce resources. Okay, so they're blocking some production as well. Increase colony happiness to turn rioters back into normal colonists, or activate martial law, which will disable the happiness system at a loss of income. And convert rioters into normal colonists. Yeah, is that what martial law does? This is one of my least favorite things, really, in 4X games. This idea that, like, crackdowns, military crackdowns and stuff like that are always 100% effective. Well, the botanical gardens are just about to finish. I think we'll be okay. Also, I'm noticing that this value is red. Have we hit a cap? Okay, there's a 200 influence cap. We also actually have to get our energy values up a little bit. Well, we're about to get these done. It shouldn't be a problem. Let's maybe negotiate with our friends, though. Maybe we could get somebody to spot us some energy in exchange for something else. Let's try with Nicole. Nicole likes us best. I would love it if we could get a little bit of energy off you, you know, just to keep me going through payday. What would you like in response? You would like 50 energy. Well, that sort of invalidates the thing, doesn't it? How about if I offer you some shared vision? Very bad deal. Never mind. Fair deal. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Hold on. Remove. I just need like a little energy. This is a very okay. It's a very bad deal for us, but like a very bad deal for me. This is not her saying, "Hey, this is a bad deal for us." Okay, she's willing to give us a little bit. We only need a little bit. We'll be able to get our stuff back under control soon. And I guess we ought to, while we're talking about diplomacy stuff, we ought to go ahead and like make some pronouncements and stuff, because I love it when people improve their relationship with the Scyfish. Because otherwise we're just sitting at the cap, the resource cap, and that feels not ideal. Would this guy be willing to go to proper alliance at this point? Yeah, cool. Alright, well, we got that event. We didn't, So your scouts have found the Celestian archives. You are convinced they contain the answers you seek, but obtaining them by force... Yeah, okay, that's just the notification for that version of the thing that we were offered. We're gonna enter the Dreamer's archives and revisit the third dream and not kill anybody in there. That's the plan, at least. Turn 37. Raxony has captured your claimed sector. Because of your claims on the sector. So, I have claims on sectors that are just near me, right? Like, okay, let's look at Murky Woods. Is there an indication that I have a claim... Factions with a claim on this sector. Okay, so when people take over territory that's adjacent to you, that gives you the ability to get rough with them if you wanted to. I'm not too worried about it. She can expand all she wants. Hattel has denounced Dick. I mean, he is kind of a dick. There's no two ways about that. Tick has insulted my empire. He might do this again and is not to be trusted. Oh no, not insults. I'm a lot less worried about that than he is. Okay, let's talk about energy generation. We have all of our stuff spec'd over here, but we can just put the city on energy generation. That's a considerable amount of energy. Okay, it defaults to that whenever you're not building. Well, let's have that be what you do. So I'm assuming if we're not here to fight, if we're just here to revisit the third dream of Xaratosh, could we do that with just this one unit? Let's go over here and see. It's time to find our way once more and connect to our roots. Well, it's going to let me click the button. We'll see if this has any kind of serious negative effects on our little psychic fish. I remember this part of the dream. Remember the fuchsia seas glimmering in the distance of the tangly thicket. The sweet odor of nectar dripping from the flowering pods, whose soft melody resonates within the center of my inner self. It's beautiful, isn't it? I too can feel its presence calling to me through your mind. Now look up to the sky and tell me what you see. Darkness and light. A glistering swirl of stars right before my eyes, but impossible to touch. They seem bright and clear, yet whenever I fix my vision on one of them, it eludes my sight. Then take a step back. Relax every compound of your eyes. Instead of searching a single star, look at the constellations. And instead of looking directly at the sky, seek its reflection within the silent waters. Become one with the echo of Xaratosh. Embrace her dream, and her truth will reveal itself. Yes, I can see it now. The mists of my mind are clearing up, the stars and its constellations slowly taking shape. Zakirko, how much I've longed to see your gentle face. Soon, your offspring will return. The Pyrrhix flames are protecting me, and with fire I shall rocket back to the stars. My campaign against the sack bleeders isn't over yet, Swarm Herald Pawsticknor. We will meet again someday. Okay, yeah, so like I was saying, like the mission really could end at any moment. Because it could have been the case that the second mission was an extension of us being friendly with Nicole Crustus on this planet, but I guess we're completing this planet and then moving back to the stars. I'm not 100% clear on why Tick Jiglux now needs to leave. It seems like he could have just waited for me to leave, since I'm going to, and then gone to the Dreamer's Archive and done the thing he was going to do at the Dreamer's Archive anyway. Like, me experiencing the dream shouldn't really interfere with it. Well, whatever. Whatever. The game's strength is probably not plotting. Let's have a little look at where we're going for the next campaign here, or the next step of the campaign. The dreams of my ancestors pass quietly through my mind, filling me with newfound calm. I am at peace with the past, and the future glitters in a delightful scarab blue. With the location of Zakirko discovered, there are prolific times ahead for my people. Soon we will gaze at its fuchsia seas, listen to its soft melodies, and absorb its boggy moisture as we tread the paths of our forefathers. Well, that just sounds delightful. They're really into how fuchsia the seas are. Returning home, the Kirko find their legacy tainted and rigged by unwelcomed guests. Yeah, I think let's just go ahead and complete this whole plot before we move on to the Vanguard or Space Dwarf thing. All castes of the Kirko rejoice as today we land on Zakirko. From the humble hidden to the majestic harbinger, every individual of the swarm is sharpening their senses to re-embrace our ancient homeworld. Many colonies have answered my call, and our fleet has been constantly growing with new arrivals since we departed Arcadia Celeste. This return will mark the beginning of a new era for the Kirko. As we reunite and reclaim our heritage, we cast off the last shackles of the Zok-Shiar and take the fate of our race into our own claws. Do we know what the Zok-Shiar is? I don't think that we've seen that term before. In ancient times, the Kirko swarm channeled its thoughts through the Ezkiyu, the Queen of Queens. There are rumors of another swarm herald trying to bring back the Queen, and our lost hive along with her. Gee, I wonder who that could be. Zakirko lies ahead, a celestial body encircled by mists of cosmite and stardust. What wonders and ancient mysteries will be awaiting us on the surface? Let us descend and have every step we take be a journey into the secrets of our past. I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of thought that it was going to take us longer, like more quest steps, I guess, before we actually found the mythical homeworld, but I guess this story is going places beyond this, probably. Well, let's return home. Let's see what horrible situation we happen upon here. That thing really is very creepy looking. And then it just descends into the earth. Our ancient homeworld. It is unreal to finally be here, to taste the dulcet air and hear her humming melody. No dream experience could be as rousing as the fervor evoked by this moment. What answers will we find on Zakirko? There is so much we do not know about our past. Let us swarm out at once, explore our surroundings, visit the other Kirko colonies from the fleet. Then we will see if there is more to the rumors about Ezkiyu and her planned resurrection. Alright, so visit the Kirko camps nearby. There are 3 of them. Hear the opinion of their swarm heralds on the rumors about the Queen of Queens, and we will acquire some influence. Maybe have to be a little bit more cautious about our diplomacy with the other players on this mission. I suspect this is going to turn into some Kirko on Kirko violence. Well, our commander has 20 skill points to spend. It looks like we don't no information of any kind is saved between the different campaign missions. So do we want to just pick up... Oh no, that's not true. This is totally our loadout. But we already had ranks of Deadeye and Range Specialists, so it's saving some information but not everything. Probably just refunding our skill points and letting us respend them at the beginning of each thing. Well, I kind of like just taking range damage up. And accuracy is a pretty important part of dealing damage as well, and then that leaves us with 4 more points with which we can take. We could grab Devour Hope, I suppose. Honestly, a heal for 20 health is pretty significant. Or Overwatch. Oh yeah, that's right. This seems pretty good. And then maybe we just hold on to our other 2 skill points? Yeah, I'm fine with hold on to the other 2. Okay, so we finished our basic researches. The unshackling and everything. Nope, I am actually done with that already. So we get all of the same deeds are accomplishable from mission to mission. Camps visited 0 of 3. Okay, let's do the thing. So what did we started with A hidden... the same units as we started with last time. We know where the camps are. None of them are too terribly far away. Let's just go grab some stuff. So what is this? An Arctic forest is good at production. That might be a good region to annex first, actually. Early production boosts usually pay off pretty handsomely. I mean, obviously, early food is also very good. And I think we may as well have this guy run off in a different direction, right? We can explore the camps a little bit more quickly. But we do have igloo growth chambers over here. What are these? Oh, I discovered something. You discovered that this transport was carrying blueprints and materials to make 2 different weapons. Unfortunately, you find most materials have deteriorated over time. There's only enough left to manufacture 1 of the weapons. We want a shield breacher rifle. That's interesting. Or a tyrant gauntlet, which will give us a powerful melee attack. I'm assuming this is a hero-only item. It doesn't actually say hero on it, but it has that little... next to where it says tier 3, it has that little helmet, the little like centurion-looking helmet, which I think appears on the hero-only items. I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. I haven't been paying enough attention, probably, to our enemies to know how often enemies have multiple points of shielding. This does do 12 base damage. I mean, it's certainly not a bad gun. Plus 20% damage if this unit moves at least 3 hexes. So if you move far enough to spend one of your action points, you get some bonus damage to make up for not getting all 3 attacks. This seems pretty good. I mean, it's not good for our current hero, but it seems pretty good in general. I'm going to take the Tyrant Gauntlet. I didn't even notice we were moving on to a thing. Okay, so here we have an existing agriculture exploitation. X is a pre-built food exploitation which provides 20 food and 2 food per population, and also would let us build a nutrition center. Well, that does seem like the sort of thing we would want to take over early. Maybe I'll, No, we're going to meet these guys first, but maybe we'll leave this alone for later. I guess it depends on whether I think the other players are going to expand toward me or not, because that thing directly south of us isn't adjacent to anybody else, but the territory directly north of us totally is. I guess we'll see. Alright, what do we want to build first? Probably a central replicator factory. There's definitely something to be said for a central biofarm. Yeah, maybe we want to go for the biofarm. Especially if we're thinking we're going to take a production thing first. Let's do this. Let's ignore the game's recommendation. I'm going to decide that I already know better than the advisor system. Food and production are both really important. This is an unguarded cache of stuff, so give me that. 18 food. Awesome. The logs reveal the coordinates of a location, which seems to be the source of the stash's contents. That is a distant location. Alright, do we just walk over and say hi to him? Let's move adjacent and see if that... Okay, that was all it took. The Kirko Zadmar, blessed by your invitation to our native world. Sharing the coordinates of Zakirko with my fellow Kirko was my pleasure. Tell me, have you heard any word of another Swarm Herald trying to revive the Queen of Queens? Oh, Postic Nor, the Kirko Zadmar do not concern themselves with that matter. We have learned that even as individuals, we are relying just as much on our swarm mates as the Kirko of old. Why should we give in to the instinctual desire of the hive mind, when we are doing rather well without it? It is true, there are just as many of our brethren still yearning for the lost connection, as there are Kirko seeking to shape their own fate as individuals. The Kirko Terim thank you, and your colony for your thoughts. Well, that wasn't, terribly enlightening. Yes, you have enough movement to get back 1 space, so he'll be able to talk to these other guys really quickly. Yeah, we're going to get this phase done pretty fast. I think we should be able to just knock these guys out and take the stockpile. It is a safe battle. Took a little bit more damage than I would have liked on a safe battle. Unfortunately, it's just a... all of our units being melee means we're going to take a lot of damage. So we could just take a central replicator factory. I assume this would prevent the food factory from getting built, which I don't think I want to do. So let's just get a free skirmisher barracks. That's a pretty cool reward for a stockpile, though, like auto-completion of a building. Are we gonna... yeah, we're not gonna be able to annex just yet. We have to wait for one more colonist to be born, which is going to happen on this next turn. So what did we do last time that we really liked? You know what I really liked was the regeneration mod. That seems valuable. And then society research. We're planning on picking up a production sector first, so we probably want to take the production sector boosts. We have now a little bit of understanding of the game systems, at least enough to make decisions based on something. These are now educated guesses about what the right thing to do is, rather than totally blind flailing. Okay, we'll have a word with them next turn. You just fly east as fast as possible. And we have our biofarm, so now what? We could build a colonizer. We don't really know what the rest of the world looks like. It does look like those other forces are not actual players, maybe? Oh no, he owns territory. Okay. So that makes a colonizer definitely a little bit more interesting. Maybe we want to pick something up here. What is this? Oh, it has a visit site. Visiting units gain 400 morale for their next battle. There's a totally dope stadium there, where people used to play rock shows. Oh, there's a power plant over here. There's actually, like, a lot of resource nodes right next to us. Provides 20% increased damage to visiting units for their next combat, and also plus 5 industry when within a colony's domain. I mean, we could build a colonizer and just have it move down here. I don't know how these guys would feel about that. I'm sure it's not terribly positive. But we're not going to be able to expand anywhere without upsetting somebody. Yeah, maybe let's go ahead and build the colonizer. That's what's being recommended to us, and it seems right to get more land. Okay, and that lowered our number of colonists, so let's see if that interrupts the annex. Okay, it did not. This smell, the sweet, verdant odor. I recognize it from the fifth dream of Xaratosh. The ones that were once lost are returning. Greetings, Kirko. You are different from when we sensed you last. I'm being talked to by a flower. You remember our ancestors? What can you tell us of Zakirko? What were we like before the invasion of the Star Union? You are asking many questions, Symbiont. In the past, no words were needed. A vision appears in your mind. You see the sprawling landscape of Zakirko, with overgrown ponds and flowers towering like mighty trees. The air is swarming with ancestral Kirko, hurrying from one colorful blossom to another. Were we just bees? Did we evolve from bees? So it is true that our two species were once living together in harmony. The allure of the nectar is still present in the dreams of each Kirko. That's a little worrying. Maybe I'm being overly sensitive, but I'm a little concerned about the allure of the nectar. Queen and Mother Node, Kirko and Growth, we all prospered together. Collect our nectar, Symbiont. Spread our pollen. Relive what once was, and you will find the answers you seek. I'm a little concerned about the motives of these flowers, which is a sentence that I have never had to say before. Let your colonies work to collect the nectar of the growth. We'll get, okay. We could get some bees and stuff. Okay, I'm into that. We could do some of that, even though I'm a little worried about what it will yield. Huxcrit Pat, brother. Why do I see so many troubled faces? Is it not a moment of unclouded elation to be back on Zakirko? Swarm Herald paused to ignore. We had been filled with joy when we took our first steps on our blessed homeworld, until the Syndicate came and captured many of our colony, including our Swarm Herald Marin Gauhu, maybe. They must have followed our fleet and are now taking our brethren prisoners as they land, one by one. Wow, that happened fast. I feel like we've been landed for like 10 minutes. Then that happened. Death to the Syndicate slavers that dare to defile our home planet. Give us their location. They shall regret the day they set foot on the land of our ancestors. Okay, go mess those dudes up. I am all about that. We can do that. Annex or raise Amazagal. And we'll get a Tormented and a Barrager, both units that I have not actually seen yet. This is a cool way of introducing the variety of units you'll have access to during the game, though. Okay, we want to do an industrial exploitation, right? Yes, that makes the most sense. Let's just get good at building stuff so that we can get better at building stuff. We want to bump that up above the colonizer. It might take some time off of the build, but I think I want to get the colonizer out as fast as possible, even if it's a little inefficient, just because I want to make sure that we don't get hemmed in by our neighbors. Okay, the quest thing is actually down here. Now, this is a fine way to approach. Hey, look at the Fuchsia Seas. I think I've heard about those once or twice. Let's see. So what do we want to do now? What is this? An Imperial Cosmite stash. Hell yeah. Hell yes, give me that Cosmite. Okay, well, it was only 10, but still, that seems pretty good. This is definitely worth our trouble to walk over here and grab. We discovered a growth dwelling. Okay, so this is where we will go to shop from the growth. Seek to trade with you. I do not have enough influence to trade with you, but we can do this before... Okay, we have to get to peace to unlock this stuff and friendship to unlock this stuff. And full integration will allow us to do some interesting stuff. Okay, so we can ask for a quest. Yeah, sure. Is there anything that you need? The cult of salad, oh god. Horrors, their cruelty knows no end. Cultists that boil our root nodules, consume our leaves, and pluck our children from the vine, to be sliced and slathered in sugary nectar for their delight. Every growth tendril quivers at the horror of knowing there's a cult of humanoids known simply by the appellation vegetarians. This is if I had a soundboard, this is where I would play the suspenseful music. Okay, yeah, we'll show them who's boss. That's not even very far away from my main army. Okay, let's actually go deal with that right now. Maybe that could be the place where we end the episode. We made some really good progress here. I'm going to try to stay away from... these guys are neutrals, not marauders, so I don't think they would attack us. Ooh, a fish elevator observatory. What is this? An old naval Star Union sector base. It acts as a pre-built water exploitation and provides all kinds of stuff. Okay, that's interesting. We hadn't taken over any water sectors during the last map. We should try to do that this time, just to get a good sense of how they feel, of how useful they are. Okay, this looks like an absolutely defeatable army. We can take these guys. And after we finish the colonizer and then finish building in our sector, then we'll start with the flowers and the bees stuff. All right, let's have at 'em. Did we get... Oh, hey, a happiness event. Hooray for food. It is a little bit of a shame that the happiness events result in random resources. This is a safe battle, but I wonder if we should do it manually just in case. Their force is not that much smaller and weaker than ours. Let's manual combat, see if we can maybe get a little bit better result. I'm concerned that if we did this manually, we might lose people. And even though it said safe battle, maybe safe battle means you will not lose a unit for sure. But I don't trust it yet. And I think I can probably do this without losing a unit. I feel like we can play this out a little bit faster, which I assume is what that button does. Okay, so they're still really far away. They have a ranged attack on this guy, and you guys are the bow units. The Huntress is scary. Relatively scary. Let's move forward a bit, make sure we're staying in cover. I'm not in a big hurry to try to hit them right away. Try to draw them forward into taking some not ideal shots, I think is what we want to do here. Pause to ignore doesn't need to be quite as close as everybody else. Actually, same deal with the hidden. Actually, the hidden can be quite a distance away because they have that teleport smoke step thing. So you might just keep them right here. That is not what... My mouse cursor was right here, wasn't it? I mean, it doesn't matter much. We can just move them again. But I could have sworn I clicked on a different space than it directed me to. Get the unleashed around into some kind of flanking position. Just build ourselves a nice concave, and let's see what they got. This is almost certainly not going to hit anybody, but there's no reason to go into defense mode rather than Overwatch mode. Oh, look at the cowardice. Well, if they're not going to step up, we can just creep forward and like take bad pot shots at them. It's not like we're working with limited ammunition or anything. I'm going to do exactly that. Well, that's a shame. A little bit of damage would have been really nice. Obviously, I don't want to leave the hero totally hung out to dry here. But I also want to be wary of the Huntress and the Flash Arrow. So what's the approach cover? Where can I creep up and still be in cover, but also not be in a place where I'm getting AoE'd super hard? I think this isn't bad. I could move up as far as this. What's the range on the vomit? 3 hexes? So I would just barely not be able to hit them. I guess I'll stay in the cover I'm at then. They want to get a clean shot on me. They have to move pretty close to be able to attack from this angle. I think this is okay cover. This is maybe better. Because if I stand right here, then they flash arrow right there, obviously. I'm learning. Slowly. Listen, I just have to get hit by every devastating attack in the game one time, and then I'll remember it from then. Okay, we do get a little bit better Overwatch here. Wow, really just a little, though. Put myself in this little alcove that unfortunately blocks my vision to the north very effectively. I think this is where I want these guys to end up, and then the Flyers... Flyers are not going to be able to get close enough to do any puking, so maybe just right here? I think that AoE is a ground AoE. You know what? It's a ranged attack, though. It might not be a ground-only AoE. We'll just fly all the way out to the side. Alright, presumably they're going to do something here. I doubt they want to just sit there and watch while I shoot at them with maximum action points over and over again. Oh, I do have to remember that we don't have the regeneration ability. It's a little bit less safe to have my dudes run in. They're doing a good job of focusing here. Okay, so... step out and get a really clean shot on those guys. The burning canister... No, let's just use all of our action points shooting. We have an 80% here, 65 there... Let's take the 80 over here. Wow, 3 grazes, huh? I don't actually know what makes a graze happen, but that feels real bad. Right, the good news is they put themselves all in a position where we can very easily vomit on all of them. The bad news is it doesn't really seem to do that much damage. Really, I can use this thing as cover? I guess that makes sense. Enemy units still make it harder for other enemy units to shoot at you. Feels like this is probably the spot I want to stand in to attack. Give me a little bit of cover against the Amazons. Alright, we established some good melee Overwatch there. I mean, it almost has to be the case that this is the move, right? Just puke on everybody. I guess it's less focused damage. If I ran over here... Actually, I can't get to him without spending 2 action points, so I'm only going to get 1 attack off anyway. We could, however, throw a real hard rend on these guys. I do think they're the greatest danger by a pretty significant margin. I'm a little worried that throwing the Frenzied out here is going to result in their deaths. But between that and the puke, it's actually not good enough. It says it ignores line of sight penalties. Oh, you know what? He's got, he's blinded. That's why his chance to hit is lower. Well, still let's try. Okay, we got the important one. Now the question is, what do we have to do to finish off the Amazon? So this will leave us with 1 point, allowing us to throw a snapshot. We can move a little bit. I'm not 100% clear. Like, if we do this with 1 action point remaining, does it still leave us with 1 point? Does it consume all of your actions down to 1 point? It seems like that's how it's worded. I'm just wondering if we can get a clean angle anywhere. Cover is pretty severe here. What's the teleport range? Like 4 spaces? If we do it from here... Yeah, like if I move up to here, take myself down to 1 action point, and then do a teleport over to... I'm not going to have a shot from there. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe. Let's do it. Okay, yeah, so if you do just 1 action point left, it's actually free. Not a very good shot, but never mind. Good enough. Alright, well, I feel like we're at least learning how to use that unit. What's the range on Gunk? 5 spaces? So it looks like we should be able to hit that guy. I'm not getting a... Oh, you know what? Because this is the attack that was selected, so that's what it shows the mouse over for. Should I just fly forward instead of taking this terrible shot? Probably. Let's just try to get to a place where I could reasonably go in with the claws. Alright. It was an okay turn. We got rid of the 1 enemy they have that I am most worried about. We lost the dude for it, which, like, the whole point of doing this manually was to not lose people. So bad job, me. But could be worse. So I'm only going to get a single shot no matter what. Psi Rifle is not going to be lethal. Yeah, unless we get a crit or something. And our chances of hitting are actually really bad. Not 100% clear on why. Info control. Oh, he has cover against me. This... Really? What's the cover? I guess he's standing in those bushes? Okay, well... Certainly not ideal. Okay, let's deal with this guy first. I feel like I have a pretty solid idea of what we want to do with this particular enemy. Alright, easy enough. Yeah, I would love to kill those guys. I mean, we're gonna have a tough time actually accomplishing it. They're in cover. I mean, they don't care about my cover because they're just gonna run over and melee me. I'm okay with this, I think. So we have this mending rig. What's the range on this ability? 3 spaces. Okay, so I cannot heal these dudes unless they want to run over first. But then they don't get to attack. And they're not going to be able to attack meaningfully anyway. I think I am going to have them fall back. And we'll just spend the mending rig on them, maybe? We have a 70% chance to non-lethally hit this guy. We could break his mind, though. Thing is, I really want my units to survive the battle where possible. Oh, that doesn't have an action cost. That's a free action. Okay. Well, why don't we do both? I got him for 17. That's a real shame. We have no way of doing additional damage to him, like in any kind of guaranteed way. Well, I can just back up a bit and snapshot if I can find a spot where I have... Not 100% sure... Oh! It's because I'm standing on the other side of my cloud is probably why. But like, see, I don't have the ability to shoot him from even right next to him here. Now the space that he's in is offering him cover. I want to shoot at him, but I don't want to stand right here to do it. We have 45 health. You know what? These guys are not going to be able to kill me. Not by themselves. I'm going to go for it. Alright, that had a reasonable chance of working. And then do we want to hurl ourselves into the fray here in an attempt to prevent these dudes from running over and attacking our hero? Honestly, probably not. I think I'd be just fine with the hero tanking some damage. And I kind of figured this was what was going to happen. Okay, let's see if we can punish these dudes. Having the audacity to attack me. Okay, there is no place where we have a good shot. Why not have... I don't have line of sight now, and I can't get line of sight with a single step, so we're going to have to spend an action point, which is really crummy. But if we're spending an action point, we may as well get close enough to get the good shot off. Wow, that was a good shot. And then we're pretty likely to just kill him straight up. I believe the Overwatch attack happens after my attack. Yeah. Well, that was not quite as easy as I was hoping, to be perfectly honest with you. But we have taken down these vegetarians. Our leaves are tranquil upon the wind. We will never forget the horrors of this cuisine, but we recognize your contribution in eliminating them. Hey, that's a pretty good start, I think, to our relationship. And our man has earned additional skill points. Are these additional skill points just more Deadeye? Yeah, I think so. Accuracy is a tremendously important stat in combat. Okay, and then you're out of actions. Some orders here. We may as well go and wrap up this little quest. It is good to feel your presence. Have you heard the news? The SKU will return to her hive. Let us all prepare to welcome home our Queen of Queens. What news? So far we only found distant rumors, but nothing of credibility. Well, it is true. The hatch sister of the cocoon guardian of the Kirko Nalim's third brood's mother's swarm gorger twice removed heard it from some other guy. Queen will be made alive here on Zakirko by another swarm herald who followed your call. This is the Luis of the Kirko. I see. And how exactly does that swarm herald want to bring her back? How would I know? I'm no transcendent or dream reader, but isn't it exhilarating? I can already hear the gentle voice of the SKU reach out to me in my mind. The chaos brought to the swarm by the Zokshiar will soon return to order in her motherly embrace. I was like, hold on a second, why are we happy about that? But it turns out, in a sentence, you often have to read all of the words, sometimes in the correct order, in order to divine the meaning. We're less than pleased about this. Well, we've heard all the rumors now. And we're not 100% pleased about some of them. Alright, I guess let's return this guy. He can at least come and merge up with the army at this point. Well, we have some direction. We know approximately what we want to do in terms of, like, expanding and fortifying our position. Maybe less so in terms of the plot. However, I suspect there will be plenty of direction on that front tomorrow. So come back and see us then. Thank you all so much for watching. And we'll see you then. I did my outro in the wrong order, but we'll see you then, tomorrow.